Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Day 19 of your 30 Days of Shiro. It is I, Shinobazu, Gaming Anime Ninja, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about kind of my day. I'm playing a lot of Dead by Daylight, and I've been playing Dead by Daylight for a while, like a good long while. So much so that I'm playing it on 3 different platforms. I'm playing Survivor on Xbox and PlayStation, and Survivor on Killer on PC. But a lot of people ask me like if I want to play DBD or if I like DBD that much, and I do enjoy playing DBD a lot. But a lot of people are asking like, I was always told from streams you should play what you want. So like I play what I want, and then my stream doesn't grow. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about that, at least my opinion on it. I have a Nintendo Switch, and with my Nintendo Switch, I do intend to be playing Mario Odyssey when it comes out. But I intend to play Mario Odyssey a little bit differently. This is something I've learned from streaming, to do one of two things. And one, you have three options when you want to play a game that your stream isn't used to you playing. One, you can play that game exclusively, drop the game you've played, see a huge drop in viewership, and then just kind of play whatever you want, and then, just deal with the fact that you have less viewers. Your other option is to play the game off stream and just play the game you want to play when you're not streaming. And your third option is to find a way to work it into your normal stream routine while still playing the game that you already play. For me personally, I'm going to be choosing the third option. I'm basically going to be probably playing Mario Odyssey either before or after, but more than likely what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play Mario Odyssey during my weekend streams, but it'll be during my early time slot. So for those of you guys who don't know, normally when I stream early on Saturday, Sunday, Mondays right now. Probably Saturday, Sundays after the 30 days of Shino. I'm probably going to make that, maybe 3 or 4 hours of my normal time slot and play Mario Odyssey in that time slot. And then after that time slot, switching to Dead by Daylight during my normal time frame. The reason for this is because I still want to play my game. And I really want to play Mario. Mario is a big part of my life. I want some people who enjoy watching me to see me play Mario and, enjoy watching me play Mario if that's what they want to do. But at the same time, I do also understand the importance of consistency. Now, I don't want to sound like you should never change games, you should never play other games, because that's not what I'm trying to say here. But what I am trying to say here is in order for someone to make something habit, it has to be something that's consistent. I can't make smoking a cigarette a habit, not that it's a good habit to have, but if 1 second I smoke a cigarette and I'm fine, and the next second I smoke a cigarette and I throw up, and the next second I smoke a cigarette and I choke on it. If those are my 3 experiences smoking a cigarette, I'll probably never smoke a cigarette again. Now that was kind of an extreme example, but I'm also not going to make a habit of having a Coke if one day I have a Coke, and the next day I have a Diet Coke, and the next day I have a Pepsi. If I never know what Coke is going to taste like, it's not going to be a habit for me to drink. It's going to be a choice. And if it's going to be a toss-up, then I'm less likely to choose it. The easiest way I can explain it is if everyone has their favorite restaurant, whatever you like to eat. If you go there and every other time you go to that restaurant, you order the same thing, but it tastes different, it's probably not going to be your favorite restaurant anymore. Or at least you'll avoid going to that version of the establishment or that location. Because again, in order for it to become a habit, it has to be consistent. And the same is true for streams. If you grew your stream playing one game, can you play something else? Yes. But with that in mind, if you want to maintain your viewership, it needs to A, be something similar to what you started playing, or B, be okay with taking a drop in numbers because people aren't interested due to the inconsistency. Now, I'm not saying, again, you should play the same game forever. I don't plan on being Dead by Daylight forever, that's for damn sure. But even with that in mind, although I plan on moving from games and switching games, if you look at big streamers like Dr. Disrespectful, he blew up playing PUBG, but he got his start playing H1Z1, which is a game very similar to PUBG. Now, I know there's a lot of differences and all that. We can argue that till we're blue in the face, but just like Call of Duty and Battlefield. But it's still a third-person looter shooter, or battleground, whatever you want to call it. But in my opinion, it's still a third-person looter shooter. That's what PUBG is. That's what H1Z1 is. And so it wasn't too. It was still different. He probably still lost some viewership for it. There's people who don't watch him anymore, I'm sure. But it was still in the vein of what he played. Now, I'm not saying you can't entirely rebrand. That happens all the time too. I see people who used to do one thing forever and then completely swapped up and switched to do something else, and that's perfectly fine. But if you do that, understand that it may be a dip in your viewership for a while until you build a ground there. But what I will say is that what you can't do is, I want to play Mario Kart one day, and then the next day I want to play Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th, and the next day I want to play PUBG. There will be people who watch you. There will be people who come every day. This is true. But if you're trying to grow your stream and give other people time, because at the end of the day, it's not that people won't say to watch you, but you got to understand what the people are coming for. For a while, people go to your stream for the game that you're playing. They want to see you play that game. And over time, once they get to know and like you more, then you can play something else. And they'll get to know and like you, and then maybe enjoy that game, and maybe go find other people who play that game. Or maybe they won't like you and they won't watch you when you play that game, and that's fine. But what you need to understand is, if you want someone to spend the time to get to know you, they need to have a consistent experience when they come to see you. So you can play what you want, but for your stream, if you want your stream to grow, you need to be consistent. I'm not saying what that has to be. If you're Resident Evil, you don't have to play Resident Evil 1 forever, but maybe try Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. You can still do those games because they're in the same vein. You could do Silent Hill because it's in the same vein, but you need to stick in that vein so there's some sort of consistency there for the viewer to return to. And then once a week, you can do something different. You can play another game. You can say Wacky Tuesdays or, Sub-Choice Sundays or whatever. But for the majority of your stream, and I'm not saying you have to play these games forever, but it does need to be some consistency. My advice for someone, if they're trying to switch what their main game is to another main game, I recommend is blending it into your rotation. If I stream Dead by Daylight and I want to make Dead by Friday the 13th my main game, I would stream Dead by Daylight for a week. And then one day of the week, I would stream Dead by Daylight. And then, for Friday, we'll do Friday the 13th. And then the next week, I'll do mostly Dead by Daylight. But at the end of maybe every other stream, I'll stream 2 hours of Friday the 13th. Then the next week, I'll stream Dead by Daylight. I'll start the stream with 4 hours of Dead by Daylight, finish the stream with 2 days of Friday the 13th. Next week, I'll do that up until Friday, but Friday, it'll be all Friday the 13th. And after a month, after adjusting my chat to Friday the 13th, letting people know that I'll be switching over to this game and having people decide if they want to stay or decide if they want to go, but giving them that choice while still giving them a consistent experience throughout it, I gradually move over to Friday the 13th so that I'm able to still grow or maintain my numbers and grow while switching over to it. Now, you can ignore everything I said here and just switch games, and, best of luck to you if you do. But this is just something I've seen, not from just myself, but from nearly 20, 30, 40, 50 other streamers I've watched. I see streamers today who can stream Dead by Daylight to 200 people and switch to PUBG and be at 50 people. And that's not a bad thing or a shot at them, but the people who come to their stream consistently came to their stream for a reason. And it's nothing against them if they choose to leave because they decide to do something else. They're choosing for the type of entertainment they're looking for, the type of community they're looking for, the type of the conversation they're looking for. And if you're no longer providing that, then they'll go find it somewhere else. That's just me being real and honest with you as a streamer myself. And again, watching, well over almost half 100 streamers, or half 100. I was going to say half a dozen. I went with, but it's over almost 50 streamers go through the exact same thing. And again, I don't say this to deter you. And my last caveat to this is there's always the second option, which is just play the game you want off stream. You can stream Dead by Daylight and then play PUBG off stream and have fun with it. There's nothing wrong with that. And for those of you guys who say, well, I don't have enough time to play one game off stream and then stream a game, whatever game I'm going to play has to be my stream game, prioritize your time better. Like, you have the time. I promise you, if I sit down and go over your 24 hours or your 72 hours or your 144 hours of your week, or I think it was like 196. I did the math on this once. But if I sat down and went through all the hours you're spending a week, I could find time for you to play those other games. It's just whether or not you'd be willing to give up the other things you're doing to play those games. And that's fine if you'd rather spend that time with family, not knocking it. If you'd rather spend that time with friends, not knocking it. If you'd rather spend that time watching TV or Netflix, not knocking it, completely fine. But don't say you don't have time to play other games and then actually be doing all those other things. And don't say that you want to play other games but they hurt your stream and not be willing to put in the time to transition your stream over to it to see how they take it. Just gonna come with time. Like, it's what it is, as they say. But I know this is a little bit more deeper, a little bit more serious, and a little bit more real than some of my other videos, I guess, maybe. But I wanted to be honest with you. Like, it's fine to want to play other stuff, and you can play what you want, but just know that there's a way, if you want to be able to stream it, there's a way you have to move your community into it. You can't just plop your community here one day and plop it somewhere else the next day and be like, deal with it, and expect people to come back the third day. It's not how it works. It's not how Twitch works. Again, like I said, if a restaurant or a TV show or anything else did that, you wouldn't go back a third time or even a second time. So, or more than a second time. So don't be surprised if other people choose to do the same. Either way, guys, that's it for today. It's been day 19 and 30 days of show now. You can play what you want to play, but there's a way to do it. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later, alright? Love you. Deuces.